And we're live with the one and only Kendall King, the Venezuelan victor, Wladimir Salas. What's going on, Vlad?
Woo. Glad to be here, guys. Great office.
Let's go. What's up, man?
Out here repping. Gotta rep the hood.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I kind of feel out of place here with you two boys.
Kendall, baby.
This is the Kendall takeover. Shout out to all the homies. I know you watching.
So what's new, Vlad? How you been?
Everything, man. Out here surviving the Rona, taking step by step, adapting, a lot of adaptation these past 3 months. And, you got to do it. Got to do it. Extra cleaning, online services, adapting, house calls, everything, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting time, I think, for all of us in the fitness industry, right? No one really knows how many gyms are going to be around in the next couple months and years, and with everyone kind of flooding the online market, it's going to be interesting to see, where the next 365 days or so takes everyone.
Yeah, things are changing rapidly. But honestly, this whole pandemic was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. I was, very distracted with things. So when everything happened, it was like, the clubs were closed, the bars were closed. So all you got to do is just work on your craft, get better at it. And it was perfect timing for me. I don't have a car. I live on South Beach. My gym is a couple blocks away. I don't need a car. And when the whole things happened, my girl, she started working from home, so she didn't need her car. So then I turned her car into a mobile gym, loaded the kettlebells, the bands, started doing house calls, obviously with precautions, cleaning the equipment, mask, social distancing, but, just not taking no for an answer.
So I think we could definitely agree here that, besides Corona being, not something that we'd wanted, but I think we can agree, all three of us at least, that, we've seen a big shift in our focus and what we've been putting our energy into, and, now actually seeing the results of that, which is pretty scary because, it lets you know that if during a time like this you can succeed. Imagine when things start settling down, that if you maintain that same focus, imagine the level of come up you're going to be able to hit.
Yeah, I think, you got to put first things first, right? And always be reevaluating what's going on in your life, what's going on in your business. And like you said, taking the opportunity that we had and making the most of it, makes me feel even more motivated moving forward as we, open things up more or, have more freedom to be able to run the businesses run our businesses the way that we used to run them to some extent. Vlad and I during the actual lockdown, we're in the gym every weekend, shooting videos, getting everything ready for our online stuff. I saw a big shift, kind of like what he was saying in the mentality that you had, Vlad, with how you were handling your business and how you were, getting prepared and doing the foundational work that not a lot of people want to do. It's not sexy to be in the gym 6 hours on a Saturday night, shooting 80 videos.
I think it's a big shift already moving from Kendall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big shift. It was a transition. So listen, when I first moved to Miami, we landed in Kendall. And then from Kendall, I went to Doral, then back to Kendall. Then I moved to Seattle. Then I went to South Miami, then North Beach, and then finally South Beach. And I was like, you know what? It was a matter of 4 years that I just kept moving around, and I didn't really have a community or a local anywhere. So I was like, landed in South Beach, love the beach, love the vibes. So I made that my home, and it's been since then.
Don't forget, we actually, I think it was towards the end of my LA fitness days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met you,
So
bro. That's where we connected. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
So it was LA Fitness on 137.
Miller Square,
and
baby.
Millard.
Jesus.
Back to the Kendall roof. So I was just out of high school, actually. It was, kind of like summer, graduated. I didn't even know what I was doing. And my mom had like told me a year ago, it's like, hey, they're hiring personal trainers at LA Fitness. I'm like, yeah, whatever, mom. And then he was actually one of the very first ones I talked to about becoming a personal trainer. I was like, hey, which certification should I get? Should I get this one or the one that LA Fitness offered? So he kind of gave me an insight, told me what to do. And then I saved his number and like never ever like heard of him again.
Same.
I went on to get my certification and all of that. I listened to my mom after a year, and then it's funny because when I ran into you at Shift and we connected through social, you posted a video with him, the one in South Point that came out pretty dope.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, that guy looks kind of familiar. You had short hair back then, and I was like, dude, is that who I clicked your profile, boom, 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 went on, what? This guy made it. I saw, sponsor athlete, all this stuff. Like, wow, this guy, his consistency must have been off the wall, because from where you were, 4 or 5 years before that to that point, a lot has changed.
Yeah, it's, we always talk about it, even in the 5.5 years that we've known each other. The transition that Anthony's made is only solidified how I feel about his work ethic, because no matter what's going on, no matter what problems that, you may have, you're always grinding. And that's something that's motivated me. I know I've said it many times on the podcast, and Vlad and I have had a lot of conversations about it too, and I don't think there will be a short amount of listeners that feel the same way as well.
No, and I appreciate that. And, going back to, bringing now reminiscing on the LA Fitness days, it was definitely, we kind of talked about it the other day that even just looking back, our Equinox days, we never would have thought we would have been where we are now. And dude, if we go even back to my LA Fitness days back in, the 2010, 2011 era, dude, I would have never really thought, but it's one of those things where, you realize, there's a breaking point in your life if you're going to keep growing or you're going to stay where you're at. And it was just, for me, I just realized that, being where I was and just staying there was not the life I wanted to live. And I said I had to continue pushing forward because, not only for me, but I wanted to make sure that I can take care of my family one day, now my little one as well. But back then I wanted to make sure to take care of my family and make sure that they were proud of me. And for myself too, it was one of those things where I was like, I'm not going to settle for less. And, I've always had this thing where, not many people in Miami, believe it or not, born and bred, make it to the top. A lot of people come in and they take over in business. And I said, well, I want to be one of those that was born in Miami, raised here, and made it to the top, and I worked up the ladder. So that was a big motivator for me at the time. And, now it's just surround yourself with the right people, a good group of people that can really lift you up. And, as you can see right here, this is why we've all been able to continue to grow and being actually able to help each other out as well.
Vlad?
He said it best. The nail on the coffin.
I mean, I feel like nowadays people have lost that sense of pride, right? That individualized pride, pride in your relationships, pride in how you treat your friends, pride in how you are in your community, the pride that you have with your work. It's not just about collecting checks, it's about bringing value to people. And being in the gym for the past couple of years and watching you, watching the growth that you've had, Vlad, where, I could see that shift, that intent change, right, with your clients where, we had a couple conversations early on when I first got to Shift, and you were kind of picking my brain saying, oh, what should I do? Should I take these certs? What books should I read? And, Mendez and I have had these conversations with hundreds of trainers, hundreds. Barely anyone ever does anything about it, Usually I give people a laundry list of certs and books to read, and they never go to a single certification. They never read a single book, nothing. You hopped right in and you took, 2, 3 on academy certs.
Yeah. So this year was like a big jump. I started right off the bat January 1st. January 20 something, I went and took my kettlebell cert specialist. Then the following month, I went for my durability. And honestly, thank the Lord for that, because if I would have waited and procrastinated, I'll do it on summer or later on, boom, this whole thing. And because of those two certs, it's just, it opened my mind for other things, to develop online, create better programs for my people online and for my in-person clients too.
So what was that shift? Like what really clicked in your head where you're like, okay, now's the time I got to make this change, and now's the time I got to really take this seriously?
Yeah, it was like that year. So 2019, I was like a little I was focused, but I was a little not as focused as I should be. And you know yourself, like, like, okay, you're doing this path, but you should be doing this. Your potential, but you give yourself things in your head like, oh yeah, I'll be fine, and so I just put my foot down pretty much. For every January, I do like a completely not a sip of party, not a sip of alcohol. So that's like my super focus month, where I game plan for the 12 months, and then I topped it off. It was actually a November. In November, I booked the certs. I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing. I've been wanting to do it for a couple months, and I've been, talking myself out of it, and I did it, booked the flights and everything.
So Vlad, I gotta ask you, going back to what you're saying about, turning, what was it, your girlfriend's car into a mobile gym?
Yeah.
What was it that kept you still going? What was it that kept you saying, like, I don't give a crap, like, this is gonna work? What made you want to be like motivated and just not stop doing what you were doing because of this whole situation, still make something happen? Like, where did that come from?
It's just within, like my family has sacrificed a lot for me to just be here in this country. My parents came here, brought us all up together. Their marriage didn't go the right way, so pretty much like they sacrificed a lot for us. So like, what I'm saying is, I didn't come to this country. My parents did not come to this country and sacrifice everything they've sacrificed for me to just be average, or for me to like, oh man, there's a pandemic, let me collect unemployment and binge Netflix all day. Like it. 2 years ago, I started my own company. I quit being an employee, and then took things to my own. So then, I'm fresh. I'm fresh. This is my start, and nothing's gonna stop me. So, once everything happened, it's like, okay, what can I do? Boom, boom, boom. And things just worked out beautifully, because our gym closed. We're independent contractors. We pay, a rent every single month. So I wasn't paying that. I was still collecting from my clients, because I was still doing house calls, and I'm still doing FaceTime calls with more vulnerable ones. So it's just not taking no for an answer. There's this quote by Les Brown that he says, it's not over until I win, and this shit ain't over until I win.
Love it.
I got another quote for you. I mean, we had David Meltzer on here a couple episodes ago, and he said it, beautifully. The attention and intention that you bring to something, right, will lead to the coincidences that happen in your life. So you really, setting your mind right and telling yourself, like, I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm not going to be easy on myself, because so often in life, especially here in America, right, we have it so easy compared to everywhere else. I mean, you were born in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of Americans take that for granted, that because we have all these freedoms, because, we're such an economic power in the world, that, things should just be given to us. When nothing is given to you, you have to work for every single thing that you'll ever earn in your life, So have you had any moments, like, over the past couple of years since you started your business, where you found that, you really sacrificed, X, Y, and Z, and then you weren't sure that something was going to pay off, and then eventually it did?
Yeah, 100%. And you guys probably had these moments too, So I lived in Doral when I started training, and my gym, I worked for Crunch in South Beach. So that commute, it could be an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half with the Miami traffic. Sun passes. So there was a time where I was about to, like, so I used to drive, and then we used to play this game with the parking lot. So nobody would pay, and then the cleaning lady would be the lookout. Like, okay, the guy coming for tickets or not? Like, So one time I had racked up a bunch of tickets. My car got towed, and I was like, man, like, I got to the parking lot, and I was like, dude, is this it? Like, I was literally thinking to myself, like, why is the city so rough, man? Like, this shit doesn't happen in Kendall. Like,
Shit doesn't happen in Kendall.
And that was like, oh, like,
Kendall, your boys, and they'll be like, I'll
drop it down. Yeah, I'll drop it.
Kendall, you don't pay for parking anywhere. So
do they have paved streets in Kendall?
No.
It's just dirt roads.
I don't know that bad. Not
bro.
like that either. But
yeah, man. So that was like one moment, like, man, like, is this all worth it? Like, and a couple moments like that, I had that. It was close, I remember at one point my business was struggling. So I was like, oh, maybe I should pick up a night shift, maybe bartending or doing some bar back work. And I was so close to it. And honestly, thank God I didn't do it, because, working in the nightlife, it could suck you in. You get used to the easy money, and then it deteriorates your health. But I'm glad I didn't take that step, and I kept on going.
Health is wealth.
Oh, yes.
Health is wealth.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely, man. And I got to say that, it's amazing to hear those stories, because, sometimes you see the difference between somebody who's going to give up or somebody who's going to keep going and pushing. And I think it's a moment, too, where you can, kind of test out what kind of person you are, and, see if you're that person who is willing to take those hits and, like we were talking with David Meltzer, and continue to push on and just learn from those things and get feedback from it every single time, so you can use it as leverage as you continue to grow. So, I appreciate you sharing that, because I feel like more people need to hear that. And, I know we're playing around with the whole Kendall thing, but us both being from Kendall, like, hearing that coming from, from Kendall, not saying that people in Kendall are not successful, but just saying that, for a lot of people in our age that we've seen from Kendall and doing things and where they are today, and it's just a bubble, and it's not because they're not doing some good stuff. It's just sometimes they don't understand that maybe they might be able to do more, and because they're in that bubble, they don't feel that they can go and do more, pursue more in their life, or be able to be their own independent, business owner one day, and I feel like when you hear more stories like this, same with Josh, from his small town, like, when do you hear stuff like that? You know what I mean? So I think it's important that we share these stories from the areas that we come from, to show people that, it is possible. You can do it. There is a way. And it's just like, you got to take those hits, and you got to get that feedback, and you got to continue moving forward, putting yourself with the right people, and just educating yourself and understanding there's a process to it.
Yeah, it was actually a conversation I had with my dad when I was, I got my certification. I got to look for a job in the gym. And then I was telling him, I could either work for LA Fitness, that's right by our house, or YouFit. And I was like, but there's gym by the beach, Crunch, I applied for that, but it's far, I told him. And he was like, bro, you have a car. Like, you could go where the money is. Like, what do you mean go to the city? So I did. I listened to him, and the commuting for an hour was horrible, but it was a sacrifice. And I knew it was a sacrifice. From the moment I walked into Crunch, into my interview, I knew that this was temporary. I knew that I was going to create my clientele and up out of here.
It's not easy being uncomfortable, like going into the unknown and betting on yourself, most importantly, especially when there aren't a whole lot of people there betting on you, giving you that support that, you may feel you need. There are tons of dark days that you have as a self-employed business owner, It's not always easy. I mean, I've had to eat frozen meatballs and pasta that you can get from buy one get one at Publix.
I remember those stories you told me.
Yeah, man. You know, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, if you really believe in yourself and you really believe in your dreams, I mean, Mendez and I have talked about this too. Is, you know, there's no one that I believe in more than myself to solve the problems that I have in my life.
That's right.
You know, I always know I'll figure out a way. You know, it might take me a month, it might take me 6 months, it might take me a year, but I'll figure it out. You know, I'll make it happen one way or another. And I think more people should believe in themselves. You know, more people should kind of block out all of that external conversation that's being had about them or what they're doing, you know, especially coming from Kendall, coming from, you know, where I come from. There's a lot of chatter. You know, there's a lot of chatter because people are jealous, you know, and not necessarily in a bad way. I think that it's just they're very, you know, some people tend to be insecure about where they're standing. You know, like you said, it's tough to come out of the areas we came out of. Yep. You know, it's not easy coming from lower income areas and trying to move to South Beach or, you know, move to Coral Gables and be around so much wealth and not let that overwhelm you, not let the moment or you know, the lifestyle get to be too much for you.
I agree, man. You know, and, you know, now that we've been talking about, you know, all these ways that, you know, all the stuff that we've done to come up and how we've been able to overcome these obstacles, you know, Vlad, I got a question for you, you know, especially hearing your story. So what are you doing right now to continue that growth during these times? And what are you doing right now with your clients that's separating you from other individuals and continuing to be able to grow your business?
Just being there for them, man. Like, you gotta, as a person, as a friend, you gotta be there for your clients. You know, things happen. So when the outbreak happened, you know, I'm young, I'm not as vulnerable as them. So I was, you know, they were all locked down. I was still doing the house calls. So, for example, I found this little quick market when the whole toilet paper thing was like they had a bunch. So I just grabbed a bunch and I called all my clients up, hey, do you need? Some people need it. So I went and you know, delivered that to them and like, well, how can I help? So all my FaceTime clients, I actually gather a bunch of equipment, you know, borrowed or bought, and I deliver the equipment to them. Like, hey, these are these 2 bands. There's 2 credibles. There's one for you. I have one in Aspen. I had to this is a funny story. So this is recent, like a month ago. So I had this client. He always is in Aspen in summer. So I never see him. But because of this, now, hey, we're training 5 times a week via FaceTime. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna rather use some equipment and I'm gonna send it to you. I had to go to the hood. I went to the Walmart in Opelika and I found some bands and some little dumbbells. So, you know, I send that out. So you're just going the extra mile because they notice that. They notice the loyalty that you have for them and so on. Another thing that I'm really excited about is the shortage of kettlebells. You know, I love using kettlebells and all that. Most places are out of stock. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna take things in my own hands. Matters to my own hands. So I'm starting a line of kettlebells, a Wlaminca fitness kettlebell line. I already pre-ordered 100. Talked with the manufacturer. They should be here in Miami middle of September. So I'm really excited about that.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about that before this.
I was reading your shirt and I was like, shoot, okay. And then now that you said that, I was like, all right.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. This brand new announcement for everyone on the podcast.
Dropping bombs. We move in silence. Yeah, man.
Well, you already know your 2 boys to hook up with.
Listen, if you guys need some kettlebells, use the code Sweat It Out for 15%.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I'm really excited about that. I want to start maybe hosting classes as well, kettlebell classes. I know Anatomy does some classes and maybe another gym too, but I want to do them, you know, outdoors. I just want to get out there, man.
I think, you know, I mean, I think a lot of things, but the ability to kind of
running.
Yeah, no. I mean, one more time for everyone listening: sprints.
Yes.
If you pay me, I'll run them with you.
Barely.
But having the ability to be malleable, right? To be able to shift your business model to adjust to the times is so important, right? Like, yeah, maybe you can't train a ton of people in person now because, you know, we do in the health and wellness industry, a lot of the people that we work with one-on-one or in small group training, they are at a higher risk of getting coronavirus and having it adversely affect them in a negative way. And, you know, you can't always do FaceTime sessions, but that's amazing that you've been able to get, you know, your client to do 5 days a week. I know a lot of my clients that never wanted to do, you know, online FaceTime sessions when they were traveling or when they would go on vacation are now like, all right, we're going to go on a road trip for a month and we're going to have sessions all the way through, you know, which is amazing because you're able to keep them way more consistent. You know, they're able to get better results because especially on South Beach, and I know you deal with a lot of high level, high income people too. They're busy as fuck. You know, they travel a ton, a ton. I would say a majority of my clients, you know, pre-corona, were traveling at least 2 weeks out of the month. You know, it's extremely hard to be consistent when you have such a strenuous travel schedule. You know, in hotel gyms, what kind of equipment do they have? Dumbbells, kettlebells, are they shit? You know, is it packed in there? Is it even open? You know, a lot of the time in these hotels. So the fact that you're able to, you know, relay the importance of staying consistent and figuring out ways to train your clients is remarkable because a lot of people, like you said earlier, right, just kind of like lay down and be lazy and don't do anything. You know, like, oh, well, you don't want to train in person? Okay, well then, you know, I guess I got to do something else.
Exactly. Yeah. I gotta say, Vlad, you know, something that really stuck out to me real quick was the fact that you were saying you were out there going and delivering, you know, taking that level of service to the next level, delivering bands, kettlebells, equipment, toilet paper. Yeah. You know, like what coaches do that?
Hopefully two-ply. Hopefully two-ply.
So guys, if you need a coach, this guy will deliver toilet paper to your house.
For my favorite ass.
But all jokes aside, man, that level of service, I think that it's more the thought, you know, of them thinking like, man, my coach went out of his way to bring me, you know, household supplies, to bring me fitness supplies when he didn't have to do that, but he did that anyways to make sure that we were okay, taken care of. And I think that's part of the reason why, you know, your clients as well want to continue working with you because they see that you're a person who genuinely cares and wants to be there and you're there, you know, at their best interest, you know, whatever it is. And I think that that's another thing that's going to be able to set you apart moving forward is that you don't hear many coaches out there that might do that extra level of service and go above and beyond to make sure that their clients are not just taken care of fitness-wise, but in other ways. So, you know, I got to give it to you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, setting them up with, so like you said, I have clients that have not missed the sessions this whole year, and then I have clients that I haven't seen since March. So, you know, it's all like if there's a will, you know, there's a way. So if you want to work with me, I'm willing to work with you. If you're going to make excuses, I'm probably not going to want to work with you, and I'm probably going to make excuses not to train you.
Yeah, I mean, you have to set a certain standard, right, for yourself and for your clients. Like, yep. I understand you have expectations for me. That's why you're paying me, right? I also have a lot of expectations for you, and if you don't meet them, then, you know, you need to go find someone else that's maybe going to, you know, set the bar a little lower, and that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I have had plenty of clients who are really just looking for someone to talk to. So it's like, if I'm okay with doing that with them, then sure. If not, then I try to just, you know, outsource them to someone else that can probably be of better service to them. But going back to the point of like you going above and beyond for your clients, it's, you know, they are investing a lot of money into you, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't diminish or negate the fact that, you know, these people work really hard for their money. And the fact that they're going to spend a lot of money paying you to, you know, without trying to dumb down our profession, you know, we are just standing around talking to them for an hour, 3 times a week, you know? Yeah, they're working out, but at the end of the day, like, that's what we're doing, you know? So to have that vote of confidence from people that say, like, listen, we're going to give you $2,000. You know, we're going to give you $5,000, or I'm going to, you know, I have a couple clients that pay me for the year in full.
Yep.
January 3rd when they get back from vacation. You know how good that makes me feel knowing like, okay, not only do you believe in me, but you believe in me to make sure that I'm going to show up every single time because you paid me already.
You created that barrier of trust. They trust you that you're going to be here. You're consistent. So you show your consistency. So I know Josh is going to be here for this 12 months. Boom.
This is all good stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is all good stuff. And, I gotta really say that, going into that trust factor, that at the end of the day is the most important thing, is especially laying the foundation from beginning and being able to connect with your client on a level where now they trust you with their body. Because I think we can all agree, like Josh said, like there's nothing else out there really more important of when trusting somebody, if you're giving your own body to them, that's really big, so it is a big deal. It is a big deal. And some people, you might think like, oh, training, whatever, it's just it's a big deal, to just say, hey, I'm trusting with my body. It's not like, oh, I'm trusting you with an item or something. It's no, you're you yourself trusting that there's no injuries, that there's not going to be any injuries, that there's not going to be any other issues, that you are going to help them with the results, and they're investing that time as well and energy into somebody where you have to give them that result, that result with the trust, and I think that's one of those things that, as a coach, when you can learn how to highly effectively connect with somebody, and of course, not saying you're not going to be for everybody and you're not going to you're not going to connect with everybody. Yeah. And that's, I think, also to being an expert where you can, kind of point that out and be like, hey, I got somebody else who I feel would be a better fit for you. And that's going to save you time and their time and them time. And then also understanding, like, knowing how to connect properly. So that way, you attract somebody who is ideally for you. And you're matching their energy, or you're showing them why they can trust you and connect with you so you can better serve them. So I think that's one of the most important things. And I know me and Josh have talked about that very, very much.
I couldn't agree more with you, Anthony. I know Vlad and I have had plenty of conversations along the same lines. I kind of want to dive back into this whole, kettlebell business you got going on, though. I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you, what other equipment are you selling?
Yeah. I mean, like, can you take us through the process? Like, how did you, obviously there is a huge shortage of fitness equipment, so there's a need, but what made you say, like, okay, I'm going to go down this road. This is what I want to do. And then kind of maybe take us through the process of how you got started with that, finding the manufacturer, like what is involved with that stuff.
And also tell us where I can get the Kendo edition.
Yeah, yeah, we gotta get some sweated out special edition kettlebell.
Has to say Kendo on it.
What Kendall?
Made in Kendall.
Kendo Burrow. Kendo Burrow.
So it all started with we're affiliated with On It, and they have really good kettlebells. So I had planned on buying 13 kettlebells from them. Almost $1,000 for me and for my clients, and taking care of everybody. Hey, do you need some? I'm about to order some. Do you need some? I'm about to, so build up to 13, 14 kettlebells. Cool. They had a sale. I was like, perfect. A couple of discount. Boom, boom, boom. I got my order, went through, and then like 2 weeks later, I got an email saying, hey, we actually made a mistake. The kettlebells are not available. We're so sorry, whatnot, whatever, like you could be mad at them, but it's the whole situation we're all going through. I was like, all right, that's not an option. So I started looking for suppliers, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I found one, but it's like a minimum of 1,000 kilograms that you have to buy. So
Damn.
I'm like, damn, like, so well, that's what I did though. So I don't know how they're gonna fit in my apartment. I'll figure that out later.
All I know, those tires on the car.
Yeah, 2,200 pounds you need it. Yeah,
the car. We're getting a truck, son.
Bro, listen,
we're getting the crew. Both of you are coming.
Just promise me one thing. Lose my number when those show up.
I know you love farmer's carries.
Yeah, lose my number when those get delivered to your apartment, because you live on the 3rd floor and that elevator is tiny and the stairs are steep.
Yeah. We'll, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll figure it out. I gotta move those very quick, and I'm sure I will. So pretty much, and then to have my custom logo on them, I had to have a minimum per weight. So I was like, all right, I'm kind of like budgeting it out. I'm not trying to blow it all out. So I just did 5 8 kg for the women, and then 50 8 kg for the women, and then 50 16 kg for the men. And my thought process was like, all right, I'm gonna have 100 kettlebells. What the hell am I gonna do with 100 kettlebells? So I was like, first, post it out there, sell it locally, take care of the Miami people first. We know a lot of trainers here, a lot of gyms that need equipment. So I'm going to do that first, reach out to them. And then my thought process is I'm just going to, with my online training programs, so I'm just going to make a bundle. So, buy 3 months of training, you're going to get your shirt, you're going to get your kettlebell, you're going to get your tutorial videos, your bands. So, put it all together, boom, give me excuses why you can't do this at home. So, that's my thought process.
Little side note, he screen prints.
Okay.
I printed this shirt myself.
Oh, shoot.
No, but
These guys self-made and all
I know,
areas.
man. I
Jack
know.
of all trades.
no, side note, 3 weeks ago, I fired myself from printing shirts because I was such a headache. I was like, you know what? That's it. So I got a manufacturer that's taking care of it in Tampa. So that's good too.
Awesome. So how was it back to you trying to get this kettlebell business off the ground? How was it? What was the process like finding the manufacturer and kind of, negotiating or dealing with them in terms of, okay, well, the logo has to look like this and this is the type of feel I want.
Yeah. So it was tough, man, because it was overseas. So, wake up early, do my clients, have a little break, get my workout, do more clients, get home around 7:30. 8:30, and then I'm like, okay, time to negotiate with the supplier because here's 8 p.m., over there's 8 a.m., they're getting into the office. So, staying up late at night with cracking out all the details, and their minimums, and then making sure everything is, it's a risk. I'm still scared. Sure. I don't know what I'm going to be getting in that container in the port of Miami. Like, we'll see, but it was a risk. So, I asked a lot of questions, and then we finally got that down, and then she was like, oh, no, it's not enough, So I wanted to do 4 different weights. I wanted to do 8 kilos, 16 kilos, 24 kilos, and 32 kilos.
Damn, going the big boys.
The big boys. So I was going to do like 30 8 kilos, 30, 16 kilos, and like 10 and 12 of the other.
That'll bring your elevator down.
Yeah.
Big time.
So they hit me with it takes 4 hours to make the mold. So it's not worth it to them to make that mold to make just 10 kettlebells. So they hit me with that, hey, broke boy, go get more money because we're not doing that. I'm like, all right. So I should settle.
With the go get more money.
So I should settle with the 58 kilograms and the 16 kilograms. I got my design. It's gonna be pretty much this, but without the personal training. It's just gonna say Wlaminca Fitness, and then the weight on the other side.
Shoot.
So yeah, it's still a risk. I don't know what I'm gonna be getting, but I'm hoping for the best. And yeah, you gotta take risks,
And how about the quality of the bell? Did that take you a while to find a good quality bell? Because I know that could be tricky. Is finding good quality items in those wholesale websites. When you're working with foreign countries.
Yeah. They send me pictures and videos, kind of looking, But at the end of the day, you won't know until you grip that bell and you see how it flows, how it moves.
Did you ask them to send you a video of them swinging it, or what?
Yeah, listen, I need you guys to send me a five movement flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you cannot do it, I'm not buying your bells.
They sent it to me and I was like, nah, do a better form. Nah, but yeah, it was a lot of back and forth, and man, it was, I think 2 to 3 weeks ago. It was on a Saturday, so I was like, just hanging out. And then all of a sudden she's like, do, and I was like, it's going down. Oh my God, it's going down. And boom, boom, boom. And I was like, whoa, that is crazy. Now
it's time to sell those big boys.
Yeah, so it was exciting.
If there's anything that we can do when they come in order to, help you sell them or, promote or whatever, just let us know and we'll be more than happy to. We'll throw a couple in here in the office when we need to get some quick workouts
Get some art on it. Some art done on the kettlebell.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's so many ways to collaborate with this, custom design, get to some Miami. I want to put Miami on the map, man. Like, with these kettlebells, the artists, you know, the community we have over the fitness trainers, just out there, man.
Yeah, there are a ton of, you know, great professionals in our industry down here in Miami. It's such a competitive, you know, market. There are a ton of trainers, you know, there's a ton of wellness coaches and, you know, nutrition experts. And I feel like we don't get always, you know, the right notoriety or the respect that we, you know, deserve as a fitness industry in Miami, just because people are like, oh, well, you know, Miami, all about partying, all about this, you know.
Yeah.
But
Very true.
I saw that, you know, that article that Stay Fit 305, shout out to them, posted the other day where it said, like, you know, Miami is the healthiest city in America.
Yeah, in the country. I think now they said in the last, I think it was 2019 and 2020, we've been voted the healthiest city in the country, which before used to be Denver.
Really?
It used to be Denver.
Wow.
And I think even...
And then they legalized
Austin
mushrooms.
Yeah.
And that went out the window. Everyone's like, I'll just order pizza and put them all on top of there.
And I know Austin's up there too now. But yeah, Miami. You know,
That's what's up.
Exactly.
You know, so it's exciting. It's a breath of fresh air that, you know, I mean, I've been in, you know, we've both been in the industry for quite a while already. We're not old by any means, but we've been around for a long time, you know
what's up.
And to be able to see people like you know, taking these big risks, you know, putting yourself out there and trying to, you know, not only make yourself better and help improve the lives of your family members and your friends, but doing it for your community, you know. Miami is a very interesting and special place in the fact that, you know, I'm not Latin, you know, clearly, obviously, right? But the emotion, the love, the support that, you know, the Latin community has for everyone and how accepting they are, like, you know, I'm about as white can be, you know, and I've never felt more at home than I have since I moved down here 7 years ago. You know, it's like, for all the bad press and the, you know, negativity that our area gets, there are a lot of, like, really caring, you know, good-hearted people that will do anything for you if, you know, you're of good character, of good value.
Yeah. And I think that's something that, you know, I have a lot of supporters. You know, I have friends that have been supporting me since the first business I ever started when I was 13. I was out there in middle school.
Slinging Kit Kats.
Slinging candy, Skittles. I wouldn't even say hi to people.
Or those, well, I guess in Venezuela, they have those, like, hot dogs with all the shit on them. You're probably like, would you have one of those stands? You know, it's like potato sticks and cheese and then mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard, then more cheese. And I'm like, I had like 4 of those one time, and I was like, I think I might die. I think I might have the meat sweats.
You got to limit yourselves to one.
No.
One,
I used to tear up that stuff.
I'm getting pretty hungry now thinking about them. No, they're fired.
Pepito's Plaza.
Jeez.
But yeah, man, people have been very supportive. You know, they've seen me go from this business to this business. You know, it's all a trial and error. You know, I was in the network marketing industry for a big chunk, like 3 years or 4. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot in business.
Which company?
I was with Max International. It was a wellness company. It's actually a glutathione company. And, you know, it helped a lot when it came to the business of people, because, you know, that's how you learn how to deal with people. And I think those years of network marketing, I was just being mentor, going to seminars, reading books. I didn't make that much money. And later on, I just stepped away from that. But I still carry those skills with me when I talk to people, when I sell stuff, when, you know, explaining things. And it has helped me a lot.
Woo. I mean,
a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for these kettlebells to come out, man. I mean,
me too, man. I can't wait. I have so many plans.
We're gonna have to hit Wlaminca Field and give them a field test.
So many marketing ideas, you know, hitting up the community giveaways, things like that. You know, helping everybody out.
I mean, we'll take one of those giveaways. You want to give us?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you don't get what you don't ask for.
Ooh.
It's true.
Yeah.
El que no llora no mama.
Oh, así mismo. We're gonna have to get a sweated out custom kettlebell.
Yeah,
Art
we might
piece on
we
it.
might have to for sure. We
real.
might have to for sure. You know, I mean, it's you know, it makes me happy, man, because you know we've been friends for a while now.
Yeah.
You know, and to see you doing all of these things and you know believing in yourself and you know trusting in yourself that you're going to make the right decisions. Not, I mean, listen, we don't always make the right decisions.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely don't. Just ask my family; they'll be the first to tell you that. But you know, you're going out and being uncomfortable. You're going out and you know taking these big risks that a lot of people aren't willing to take because you believe in the end result. You know, you believe in where you want to go and who you're going to bring with you and how much you're going to actually help, you know, like I said, yourself, your family, and our community. And that's commendable.
Yeah. Once you step away from that, like, victimized mentality and you start taking ownership of every single thing in your life, like, all right, you know, the Dolphins lost the game. That's not because
They lose a lot of games.
Yes, they do.
There's a
Well,
lot
let's
of
see.
games.
Hopefully, let's see what happens. Well,
I know.
that's if they
Yo,
have a season. but
there's a rumor out there that they might be trying to go after OBJ.
I heard about
What?
that. I don't know though, man.
Tua OBJ.
Hey.
It sounds nice. I just hope, man, that his head stays focused on the
steam. The
And,
steam.
well, you know him. I mean, he's already been known to go out on some boats down here.
Oh, I know,
Bumps and
man.
hoes.
You know, so
Love the players, just sometimes, man. You know,
Yeah, we don't want unnecessary drama in the locker room.
oh man, I got a funny story about about a Dolphins game Vlad and I went to one time. So you know, I have clients that you know work used to work for Live. For those of you listening, don't know.
I went to one with you guys.
Yeah. Oh shit, you were there. I think
It was
right?
that one then.
Yeah.
The Eagles
Oh, are
game.
we talking about the
Eagles?
Yeah. All right. So now that we all know, we'll just tell you guys. So
and
like,
the Dolphins won.
yeah,
Come back,
right.
baby.
Toma.
So I have, you know, I got when I was 13, I got hit in the face with a baseball, you know. So I got a bunch of dead fake teeth because of it. And we were at the game in the, you know, in a suite, and I was eating. This sounds so pussy. Like I was eating a soft pretzel, and all like I'm biting. I'm like, fuck, this piece of salt is like really fucking rock hard. And then I like start
crunchy.
like moving my tongue around, like, okay, all right, tooth there, okay, tooth is there, okay, tooth is there, and then I get to like a hole, and I just like stuck my tongue through it. I was like, fuck. I turned to Vlad. I'm like, this isn't good. I look like a hillbilly. I look like the people from my town.
And that wasn't even the worst thing that happened there.
No.
You know what happened in front of us?
There was another one that lost the tooth too.
Oh yeah, that guy passed out.
the guy who passed out. Him and his wife were going nuts.
Yeah, and he
Were they
he cracked his
Dolphins fans
head.
or Eagles fans?
Cracked his lip open. The tooth fell
There was
out.
blood.
Cracked his eyebrow. They were going nuts. They were drunk, bro. They were just jumping around, him and his wife. And remember, he went to pick her up, and he was jumping. He fell on top of her.
He hit the edge.
And he hit
with the
Yeah,
mouth.
he hit the edge of the table, dude. Oh man, that shit was crazy.
That was actually my last
Can't go.
Dolphin game.
Can't go full. You can't
Yeah,
go
that's my
full
last one,
retard.
too.
Can't go full
No,
retard.
you can't. You just can't. You just can't. And they were going crazy because I think the Eagles had just scored a touchdown, and they were gonna. I think the Dolphins were about to lose, and then
Yeah,
and
dude,
then
we were
you-
tanking the season, like, and then we won.
and then we won that shit.
Yeah, shout out to Sophie Dental for fixing me up before our Basel game because that would have been a disaster.
Oh
That
yeah,
would've
I
been a
remember.
disaster.
He was stressed, man.
me walking around with a giant hole in my face, just like, hey ladies,
Howdy.
hey ladies, I'm
Wait, was-
sophisticated. Look at me looking at this banana taped to the wall.
No, I was gonna ask you. That was the art basket with a banana.
Yeah, yeah. I just randomly walked by that. You know, like
Should we get a banana on our
You
wall?
should, man.
I mean, I'm not paying 150 grand for
No,
it.
I'm not
You,
paying that.
you gotta get it from Sedano's though.
Donald's banana and Kendall.
And Kendall.
We could get a bunch of them and then just tell people how fancy we are.
We could sell them too. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So the banana. These are 120.
Yeah.
Vlad's gonna be the first buyer.
100. We'll make a discount for you, man. 100 grand.
100 grand. All right. But because we're boys,
So you're gonna-
150.
Yeah. So what's new with your training, man? How have things been going now that you know we can kind of do a little more, and they open up the parks again, and we don't have to train on my balcony anymore. So what have you been doing in your own training, and how's that been going?
I usually mostly do kettlebell training on my own, but now since the gym's open up again, I've been able to hit the iron again, like the barbells, heavy deadlifts and such. Sometimes you gotta just blow some steam.
Don't lie, 225 is not heavy.
Heavy for me, bro. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, and since gyms are open now, I could bring some of my clients in there, the ones that feel comfortable going to the gym. But same thing, it's annoying, not gonna lie, like it's really annoying, wearing the mask and spraying every single item they touch or use. But we all gotta do our part, and this is temporarily, so
safety first, then teamwork.
So speaking of masks, do you see more of those people who like to wear who used to love wearing those elevation masks? Are you actually seeing people wearing more of those in the gym? I don't know. I'm just asking because
to kill two birds with one stone, bro.
Hey,
that is true. I haven't
best excuse to wear one.
I've honestly, now that you mentioned, I've not seen one of those in so long.
Me either.
Yeah,
That's why I was
so
asking.
long.
I was wondering.
Where do they
Maybe
go?
we need to bring those back. Maybe we need to start a.
Right there. There's your new product.
Yeah, new elevation mask.
I'm just gonna start making like giant plastic bubbles for people.
Nah,
I feel like that's really where we're all headed.
Where everything's going.
It's just everyone's gonna be bubble boy.
Bubble boy. But enough so you can do your kettlebell training inside.
Oh yeah, you gotta. You gotta have enough room for activities, dude. I mean, you're gonna be in there the rest of your life.
buy a bubble. Nah, it's so those people were like, nah. Since the government is saying you have to wear a mask, now they want to, no, now I'm not going to wear that elevation mask.
Yeah, no, it's not cool anymore now that everyone has to wear a
Yeah,
mask.
exactly.
How else am I going to draw attention to myself if everyone has to wear a mask?
True.
I mean, I guess I could just blast heavy metal and whoa.
Yeah.
There's those guys.
Or you could wear a belt too while curling,
You could do that. Or you can just curl inside of the squat rack.
With the kettlebells, with the Wlaminca kettlebells,
And the belt on.
yeah, that's always the best.
And screaming.
And screaming.
Yeah,
With rock.
yeah. But make sure you're wearing sweatpants so everyone knows that you don't ever train your legs.
Yeah, man, it's tough, man, because now I've heard a lot of complaints. When you're deadlifting heavy or squatting heavy, and you have that thing over, you're putting your lungs in a lot of stress, so you could faint. If you're not breathing properly, but these guidelines are, gotta follow them.
Yeah, they're there for a reason. I mean,
or train at home.
We'll see. I mean, now they say that they're really making headway with the vaccine and everything. So hopefully things are on the up and up. But we gotta just adjust and deal with it and figure out how we're gonna make it happen. I know we all gotta get a workout in real soon.
That's
see
true.
some content.
Oh, yeah, that's what we do.
It's been forever. So we'll get our boy Brian.
Yeah, we got to shout out to Brian, the media boy.
See some content up in here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, man, I'm super excited for you. I mean, like I said, we've been friends for a couple of years now, and to really see you take hold and do what you need to do to be successful, it's not easy at a young age.
Yeah. And I appreciate all the things you've done for me, helping me out, taking me under your wing when I had questions, there to answer. It's you need mentors. If you think you're gonna get to the next level without any mentors, you're delusional.
Listen, I feel pretty smart, but I'm definitely not smart enough to come up with any of the things that I know.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people helped me out a lot, and I was a fucking idiot.
Look,
in college.
The best thing I'm gonna say is that, mentors need mentors, coaches need coaches. And when you have good friends, you want to be with better friends, and you want to keep challenging each other in a healthy way and just continue to grow, so it's like going back to what you're saying, you got to put yourself around the right people, and you got to be just learning constantly, because if you stop doing that, I'm a big believer, if you stop moving in all levels of life, mentally, physically, diving into your own soul, diving in, into yourself, like you're gonna die. So if you stop that movement, in all areas of your life, you're going to just shrivel away. So you got to continue to push forward and continue to just grow, especially if you want to be successful.
Yeah. And adapt.
And
Things
adapt.
change, adapt. If you don't adapt, you become extinct. That's it.
Ooh. Like those like those fucking dinosaurs.
Exactly. You become a dinosaur and they're no longer
No
here.
time for that shit.
It's the same thing, you know, for the older crowd, you know, with this whole new technology. Imagine, like, if you're 60 or 55, you know, you went from a time where no phones at all to, like, now FaceTime thing. And if those people didn't adapt, you got left behind in business. And there's so many cases like that. They're like, oh, like, I don't want to learn a new device and all that. And then I think even some trainers that are around that age, you know, through this, they're hurting because they didn't know how to, you know, set up the Zoom or the FaceTime or all this online stuff, or create programs online or videos, shooting with the camera. And, you know, and we're going to be at that point too when we get, you know, to that age and then new stuff is coming out and we're like, man, like, what the hell? Like, damn, we already have Instagram, now TikTok. Like, whoa, man.
Yeah, that's what interns are for, though. They can teach us all that stuff.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. When all this shit happened back in March, dude, I had DMs, messages from like 15 to 20 different coaches that I always told, dude, why aren't you putting yourself out there? Put some videos out there. Start getting on the internet. Get on social media. On Instagram, you know, put content, put on YouTube. And it was funny because for a few years I've been telling some of these friends of mine, and it's just like that day, I remember during that day when they really said everything was shut down, they were just blasting me up.
Yeah.
And they were just like, dude, what'd I do? And I was like, you should have been doing this from when I told you to do it. Doesn't mean don't start now, which you want to, but, you know, this is why I mentioned that, you know, and this is why I had for a long time I'd been saying, you got to put yourself in things that are working now and the things that are moving forward, you know, with tech, with social media, with internet, with business, everything combined to be able to start winning. And you see the trends, you see where everything's shifting, you see how business is shifting, you see where money is shifting, you're seeing where everything are going. And if you don't flow with some of that, or you don't put yourself out there in some of that, you know, and even then when you hire people, you need to be able to be smart enough to say, I am willing to hire people that know about this, you know, because you hear that too. You hear people who have enough money and they're still saying, oh, I'm not going to put money towards that. Well, then you're going to lose because, yeah, maybe you don't need to learn it, but dude, you got to invest in it, you know, because this is the future. So invest in somebody who knows how to do it for your company, even if you're not going to do it for yourself. So, you know, you like Vlad said, you got to adapt. If you don't adapt, guys, you're going to drown yourself eventually.
Yeah, like when I started dipping my feet in the online world was like probably a year and a half ago. I was pretty good with my in-person clients. I had no reason to start doing online, but, you know, I created my website. I do my online training through this app and filmed all the videos, my first videos, and I had it all planned out. So when this thing hit, you know, I was like, okay, time to put everything to work because I already had my online presence.
And you got the mobile car with now the kettlebells coming.
With right now he's got some of my kettlebells in there, so I can't wait to get those back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Can't wait to get those bad boys back, baby.
Careful, Josh might be like, just give me the new one.
Yeah. Well, now that you mention it,
You're gonna hit me with the placata. Draw 4.
All right, man. I mean, hey, listen, we already did an hour, dude.
Oh wow,
time flies, huh?
Go get the colada.
Oh, fuck. I could do
colada. Rip us up another hour.
Colada break.
An hour, 4 hours. We'll be good to go. But why don't you know, I'm sure Anthony might have a question or two left, but why don't you let everyone know like where they can find you on social media, your website, you know, any way they can contact you, so you know people can reach out to you and get some of the value that you bring.
You can find the company's page, which is more in depth for like tutorials and exercise. It's at Wlaminca Fitness on Instagram, and then my personal page, which is, you know, more showing off my abs and exercises. I try to get technical there, but not as technical. That's the reason why I have things separated. You know, me showing workouts and me explaining workouts. But my personal one is at Salas. So yeah, you know, if you guys need anything, there's a lot of free content there that you could learn from, a lot of kettlebell training, a lot of tutorials you guys could dip in.
And how about the new kettlebells?
New kettlebells, mid-September should be here.
You guys heard that?
Boom.
You heard it. You could pre-order now if you want. Ooh. But I haven't even set that up yet. But, you know, we could. I'm probably going to set it up, and we'll probably make a pre-announcement.
So Vlad, one last thing. I always like to ask my guests, what's the number one biggest piece of advice you can give to all our listeners right now?
Other than hang out with us.
Be consistent, man. Be consistent. So I actually started being really consistent with my Instagram after my New York trip on February. And I've seen growth, man. And, it's not much. I'm call me a micro influencer, but it's been working. Me being consistent. I had an Instagram for, let's say, 10 plus years and whatever. And then, in those 10 plus years, I racked up like whatever, 1,000 followers. And then in the past 3-4 months, I racked up about another 1,000 followers. It's just consistency, like putting out there, like Gary Vee says, put it out there, put it out there, put it out there. Or Grant Cardone, hit the list. Go out there, man. Wake up hungry and go put out content and be consistent. Be consistent.
Boom.
You guys heard it best from the Kendall King of consistency. Until next time, guys.
Much love.
Later, guys.